fascinating series of 10 videos. Featuring over 70 experts around the world. Marital love and responsible parenthood. Love, sex, health, freedom, life, family. Is it possible to enjoy all of these and be truly happy? Is there a secret? Yes, but you can't buy it. It's an incredible lifestyle, a concept of man and woman in harmony with the laws of nature.
It's a treasure that can change lives and hearts, because this teaching takes into account the human person in its entirety and respects the person for what it is, deeply in its body, as well as in its heart, in its soul, and in its spirit.
And it's also a matter of recognizing that, what the sexual act means. It means a complete self-giving, mutual self-giving between the spouses.
Because I think that using contraception is something like, I like you, but I don't like your fertility, or something like that, and something artificial in the life of family couple.
The contraceptive pill comes with a leaflet with a very long list of side effects.
In countries where artificial family planning method has been espoused, you've seen an increase in sexually transmitted disease.
They may harm your health, act as abortifacients, break up the family. But what is this contraceptive mindset based on?
Well, the anti-childbearing mentality really is based on an impoverished sense of what it means to be human, in terms of having more things, being more comfortable materially. But that never made anybody happy. In fact, the opposite, right?
I will have children next year or the year after because I want to save for a house or save for a fridge. You can make 101 different reasons why you would want to put off having children. But once you've had children, you will experience greater joy than you've ever had before.
Having children is difficult. You make lots of sacrifices, but it's worth that. It's worth that. At the end, you feel the joy of being a mother.
No, in Africa, we don't believe that the more children you have, is a problem to you. We believe it's joy, it's God's gift, so we receive them with joy.
Many couples would like children, but for serious reasons, not too close together. In such cases, what's the best option?
Responsible parenthood means that you know when it is a good time to have a child, or when this may not be advisable due to the circumstances of the person, their family, their profession, or their economic situation. According to the World Health Organization, natural regulation of fertility is a means of achieving or postponing conception based on the observation of the woman's cycle. So this is a wonderful opportunity to get to know your own body in order to recognize fertile and infertile periods, to know if you can conceive during those periods, and act accordingly.
Its efficiency is very high and equivalent to any artificial method.
This is the great revolution of the natural method. My husband is not using me. He loves me, he respects me, and he waits for me. And this fascinates women once they have succeeded in liberating themselves from the pill or from condoms.
The natural family planning method actually brings couples together. It's better communication, better cooperation between ourselves.
Divorce rates among users of natural methods are about 3%, whereas among the rest of the population, they can reach 50%. Which of these groups loves better?
It's a way to love each other more and better. It's not a form of contraception alternative to the artificial ones.
Natural methods respect the creation and human dignity, but they are not exclusively for Catholics.
We organize NFP teaching among doctors and nurses through health ministry. Yes, NFP teaching is acceptable even in a Muslim country.
In Russia, we are going to continue developing natural family planning because we see the great success, and we see this success in our families and in the families of our friends.
If you conceive with the natural method, you will never want to abort. Life is a gift from God, and natural methods are good for your health.
And how do the natural methods work?
To start from the beginning, we have to explain how the physiology works for the transmission of life. It's quite a discovery.
Nature has given the woman something where she doesn't have to buy something to see her own fertility. She can observe the cervical mucus, and she knows when she's fertile.
The Billings method, or cervical mucus method, can be learnt by any woman in any part of the world.
The second most important indicator is temperature. Once ovulation occurs, the woman's temperature increases.
The symptothermal method observes your temperature, cervical mucus, and the texture of the cervix to obtain an exact diagnosis. I help her to fill in the graph, and I have to write down her temperature and mucus daily. It takes me about 5 minutes to do it.
It's really very useful to do it together so the man can see how the woman's body is working and see, for instance, her changing moods.
Women can get pregnant during about 6 days each cycle. Is it possible to live in abstinence during that period?
We are rational beings. We are not animals. The instincts will always be there, but our experience is that it can always be controlled.
Some people will say, oh gosh, if you have to abstain during your marriage, aren't people going to be a danger to fidelity? But no, the person who has self-control in marriage is also more likely to have self-control outside of it.
Natural methods are effective throughout a woman's reproductive life, including breastfeeding and menopause. They are even successful for treating infertility.
Infertility is a common problem, and we find that natural procreative technology is effective for most of those couples, probably as effective as any of the assisted reproductive technology techniques, but with lower cost and with healthier pregnancies, healthier babies.
Pope Paul VI proposed natural methods in his encyclical Humanae Vitae, in spite of strong opposition. His successors confirmed and developed this teaching.
Paul VI, in praying and in working on this encyclical, he was inspired by the Holy Spirit. If a person sits down prayerfully with Humanae Vitae, really every line in it is beautiful. It can make a person weep.
And if used in the right context, indeed sex can bring the couple much more closer spiritually, and they can experience the joy of heaven through their marriage.
I am a convert, both to natural family planning and to Catholicism. But I read Humanae Vitae expecting the church to tell me what I couldn't do over and over again. And yet it was a document that painted such a wonderful picture of what marriage is, and how when we separate the unitive act from the procreative function, we really dismember the whole purpose of marriage and sex. It was an important conversion for me, and I learned that the church has an amazing amount of wisdom about what it means to be a husband and wife, and what our roles are while we live here on this planet.